So this is impulse type of turbine. Pellet is a hydraulic turbine, impulse turbine, and it is the direction of the flow of water is in tangential direction. Okay, the fluid or the water hits the blade tangentially. Okay, so this is just a general impulse turbine, and we require a high head for this. I mean, from 300 to 1200 meter of head is required for this type of turbines, and it is a low specific speed turbine. Okay, as the specific speed turbine formula is N is equal to n square root of P H raised to 5 by 4. So the specific speed is used to determine which type of turbine has to be installed in the hydroelectric power stations. So based on that, we say that for this you require high head, and specific speed required for this is very low. Okay, and this is just a modern test rig for the lab, which has been brought over here. Okay, so this is there in your FM lab. Okay, then simply instead of we don't have any reservoir kind of, so we are having a tank from which the water is being pumped using the pump, and it has been flown into this pipe. Okay, this kind of penstock. So as we have seen in the diagram of many of the which is there in hydroelectric power stations. So we have a reservoir, and behind which dam behind which there is a reservoir behind the dam, and from the reservoir we are taking the water through the penstock and we are making it to flow in the over the turbine, Pelton turbine. Okay, so there we are calling it as impulse because the whole pressure energy which was there in the behind the dam is converted into kinetic energy in the nozzle itself. Okay, that's why we are calling it as an impulse turbine. Okay, if it is a reaction turbine, the whole pressure energy is not converted. Some of the amount of pressure energy is converted in fixed blade as well as in moving blade. So the expansion takes place both in fixed blade and moving blade. But here in Pelton wheel, the expansion is taking place only in the nozzle itself. Okay, done. So that is why it is known as an impulse turbine. And as I told you, that is a tangential flow turbine, means it is hitting the blade tangentially. Okay. So here instead of blades, we are calling it as a form of bucket. The blades are called as buckets. Okay, and in hydraulic turbines, we are calling the rotating element of a turbo machine as a runner. But in steam turbines, we are calling it as a rotor, and in pumps, we are calling it as a, like centrifugal pumps, we are calling it as a impeller. Okay, so now this whatever rotating element is there, which is rotating and making the converting the energy into mechanical energy, that is known as runner. Okay, so now in this experiment we usually take the loads with respect to rope brake dynamometer. Okay, so this is a fixed one, so we are placing two loads on both the sides. Okay, so by placing these two loads, we are changing the loads and we are taking the reading for the rotation of the speed. Okay, if I increase the load, what will happen is that the rotation will be reduced. So the number of rotations, that is RPM, will be reduced. So the amount of power generated will be less. Okay, so this is the just a simple setup of the Pelton wheel. So now how to start this experiment? We can see that there are some controls over here. We have to push this button so that the pump starts. The pump is the one which is taking the water from the this tank, the lower level tank, to the turbine. Okay, so we are taking the water. This is now a completely open kind of valve. Now if I want to open it halfly, then I can partially, like I can open like this, I can completely close this. So now it is completely open, so that whatever the water is there will come from here, it will go through this and it will go through this venturimeter. This is a venturimeter which measures the discharge or flow rate of water flowing through the turbine. Okay, so discharge is necessary. Whatever quantity of water is released from the to enter into the turbine, that can be measured using this. There are two pipes. These two pipes are, one is for inlet pressure and another is for throat pressure. Okay, this inlet pressure measures the pressure of this pipe measures the inlet pressure of the fluid entering into the venturimeter, and this is for measuring the pressure at the throat. Okay, now this is the diverging section. Okay, as we have seen in the venturimeters, we have three parts: converging, throat and diverging section. Okay, then we come to this, and there is a delivery pressure. This is the pressure with which it is delivered to the turbine. Okay, so we can say that there is a delivery pressure. Okay, then So the water will come like this. This is to control the quantity of water which has to enter into the turbine. Okay, we can change this depending on this rotation. What will happen? There is a nozzle. We can see here. You can see here there is a nozzle. Okay, and this is the runner. Okay, you can see the blades. They are a kind of hemispherical curved shape, and in between there is a kind of what you say, a kind of splitter on which the water hits the blade and it will deflect. Okay, so the water will be deflecting in this kind. If these are the two hemispherical blades, this will be the splitter. Okay, the water will hit this and the water is deflected like this. Okay, so water gets deflected. Okay, so as we can see the nozzle, there is a kind of ball bearing or kind of pier which is allowed to maintain the flow rate of the water into this. Okay, we can change the flow rate by using this. We can change the speed of the rotation of the blade by using this. If I want to increase the flow rate, what I will do, I will completely open that nozzle so that water to the turbine will be at the most. Okay, and if I want to reduce the flow rate to the water turbine or the runner, then I can usually means we can close this and we can get less amount of water which is hitting the blade. Okay, so if I go on reducing the flow rate to this, the speed will go on reducing. Okay, if I want it to rotate at higher speed, then I have to open up the valve completely. Okay, so this is the Pelton wheel here, and the water readings we have to take is if I maintain this at a constant head. Okay, if I so there are two types, constant head and constant speed. So we are only going with constant head over here. So what we have to do is we have to start the pump. As I have told you, we have to push this button. I have to start the pump. So what will happen? The water is getting passed through this and it is hitting the blade, and the turbine will start rotating. When it starts rotating, what you have to do? You have to put on the load using the rope brake dynamometer. You have to just make sure that you are putting a load to it by just rotating this. You have to take two readings, two loads, F1 and F2, because it is taking the load at this point. You can see there is a rope brake over here. Okay, there is a rope. Okay, it is applying the brake to this. If we apply more load, the rotation of the RPM will be less. Whatever rotation of the turbine is there, it will be less. It will be reduced RPM. Okay, and to cool it, we are using when it is under rotation. What will happen? There is kind of friction which is created. It is getting heated up, so that we are supplying the same water to it so that it gets cooled. Okay. Now, so what all readings we have to take? We have to take the inlet pressure reading. Which one? Inlet pressure reading is this one from this. Okay, and the throat pressure reading, this one. Okay, and the RPM at which the turbine is rotating. Okay, then we come to the delivery pressure. These all readings have to be taken and used to calculate the calculations which are required for calculating the performance of a Pelton wheel. And one more thing is that, as I have said, this RPM will be increasing or decreasing based upon the load which you are putting. Okay, so if I increase the load over here, what will happen is it will be making the friction between the belt and the rotating element will be increased, and so that the RPM goes on reducing. Okay, now again if I change this to half, okay, if the water flowing quantity, if I make this value to close half, okay, so what will happen? The quantity of water which is reduced from this will be less, and same way the RPM will also get reduced. We can take many readings, like we can take into full reading, we can take into full load, that is full amount of water is flowing through the pipe. Okay, then we can come over here, we can change this, and if you go on changing this, what will happen? You can see that the load is getting changed. The same way we are doing here. So it is applying a load to this rotation of this. Okay, we are applying the load so that when it is rotating, so what will happen? It will hold this. So when it holds this, it means that it is reducing the rotation. And why we are using this to calculate the output power. We are using this to calculate the output power of turbine, how much it is able to produce. Okay, for that we are applying for every different load. Like these two have to be working. So if I keep this at 0.5, I have to keep this at 1. So the difference will be what? Used to measure the how much amount of load has been acting on this. Okay, by this we can know the output power of the turbine. Okay, so the input power is whatever calculation have been given. In that we can use the input power and the calculate the working power. Okay, so this is the experiment of the turbine, and the theory part has been already made you understand in the online classes, sorry, online classes in the theoretical chapter. Okay, thank you.